We trying to behave ourselves on the story? Well, y'all know what we thinking right now.
I'm ready for the night. I got a little extra energy. I don't know what might come out of my mouth tonight.
Hide your kids. Tell them go sit their bad asses down so we're grown folks in here talking.
TGIF.
Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Claudia Jordan. It's Friday, and I'm back with a brand new, fresh episode of TGIF. Now, we're spilling the tea and breaking down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get ready for all this hot tea we about to spill. Please welcome brand strategist Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
What's going on, Claudia?
Are we going to be drunk tonight?
We never know.
Oh.
I am drinking. So I don't think I was drunk though.
Well, that's debatable. Please welcome multimedia personality and talk show host Funky Dineva. What's up, Q? Are you drinking tonight?
What's going on? Absolutely not. I'm having lemonade right now, but I am going to dinner once the show is over. So I'm pretty sure I have 3, 5, 7 martinis.
I'm gonna save mine. I'm out here in New York. I got to hang out with Demetria McKinney last night. We became friends on Housewives, and she's really doing her thing acting. So shout out to her. And being in New York, you know, I don't know. We'll see. Al, you remember how I used to be out here?
Man, I love New York.
I gotta hydrate before going back out for round 2 tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a long night.
I know. I remember I used to leave the house at 1:30 to go out.
That's
AM.
right.
Those were the days. All right, y'all. Let's give them what they came for. Let's get into this now. Rihanna's Navy are rejoicing because she and ASAP Rocky welcomed a baby boy into the world on May 13th. The couple have yet to release the name of their son. Chris Brown was one of the many celebrities who congratulated the couples. Are you guys excited for Rihanna and ASAP Rocky? And how creative do you think they're going to get when it comes to naming their son? Al, what do you think about this?
Man, this is super exciting to watch, right? You know, it appears Rihanna has it all. She has her career. She has Fenty Savage. She has #1 hits. She has a heartthrob boyfriend or fiance. She's almost a billionaire, right? Her net worth is almost a billionaire. My hat goes off and congratulations to Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. I only have 2 questions. Well, actually 1 question. When will she reveal the name? That's #1. Because, you know, Nicki Minaj has been 2 years and we still haven't gotten a confirmation of what Nicki Minaj's child's name is. We know she calls him Papa Bear. And my second question for Rihanna and ASAP is, I want to know if the baby has Rihanna's eyes. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
That's a good one. You know, it's Rihanna can do no wrong in my book. I also read something on social media earlier today that said her baby is now the richest baby in Hollywood, and the baby is worth $1.3 million. I don't know if that's the
billion.
I'm sorry. Combined net worth of the mom and the dad, and that she beat out Kylie and her children. So that's another feat that's worth being applauded for Rihanna and ASAP with that rich ass baby.
Isn't that funny? They already ranking the babies.
Yes. How your baby in Forbes? I mean, belly button ain't even fell off yet in Forbes.
And we trying to get approved for little small mortgages. Okay. All right. Well, the president of ABC Entertainment told Deadline that despite the Will Smith and Chris Rock Oscars incident, he thought it was a really successful year for the show. He also said he's open to Rock hosting the show for a second time. Do y'all think Chris Rock deserves a second shot at hosting the Oscars, Al?
Hey, look, this is brilliant for ABC, the president of ABC. It was the largest night they've ever had. What was it? Up 60, 70% in viewership to 16.9 million viewers. And don't you know, if you have him back, you're going to get probably double that, because everybody wants to see and hear and wants to hear his set. Everybody wants to know what he's going to talk about, what he's going to say. I think it's a very, very smart marketing idea for ABC to put this out there as it could be, in fact, Chris Rock hosting. I mean, I know my eyes will definitely be set on March 12th, I think it is, 2023 is the date that they've announced for the new Academy Awards.
Q, what do you think?
Chris Rock should most definitely be back. He didn't do anything wrong. He did absolutely nothing wrong. He should have an opportunity to do this thing slap free. And as a matter of fact, they need to keep the whole team. To be quite honest, I'm less interested in if they're going to have Chris Rock back and more interested on if they're going to have Will Packard back to produce the Grammys, because he was a large part of that success that they saw this year in conjunction with Chris and everything else. But Will Packard, in my opinion, is the real MVP. And that's where the conversation needs to be about who will be returning.
I think it's funny that this is even a question. Of course, he should be back. First of all, he showed the most professional, the highest level of professionalism you can ever have asked or dreamed for. Getting assaulted, keeping it together, continuing on with the night. And as far as we all know, hasn't filed a lawsuit. And, he's good to go.
Also, yeah, Claudia, that's very smart, super smart observation. This also could lead to a very, very big cash payday for Chris Rock, because we also know that he has not spoken about the slap. He hasn't given the interview to anyone. So from my point of view as a brand strategist, he should not talk about that slap until he hosts the 2023 and get all that extra money that's going to come to his rate going up for them having to basically put him in that slot, and then ride the wave of explaining the slap and how it led to 2023.
Because all those ticket sales are going up for his shows, and he's really not disclosing. But I did hear he said $3 million is his price to talk about it. I think he deserves it at the very least.
I agree.
Yep.
All right, y'all. In a recent interview with People, Bobby Brown and his wife, Alicia Etheridge Brown, opened up about their journey to love, happiness, and raising 3 kids. Alicia also told People that she is the yin to Bobby's yang and understands the iconic connection and public relationship Bobby had with Whitney. I don't know if y'all saw on social media, but it's always like, they don't really want to hear much about her. It's always about Bobby and Whitney. Alicia said, Bobby and Whitney were their time. I also came from a place. So knowing that he loved hard and came out the other end, and somehow we're meant to be and found each other, that's what I like to focus on. What are your thoughts on Alicia pretty much saying she's, that Bobby and Whitney's relationship is a thing of the past, and let's talk about me now, or us now. Q, what do you think?
We don't care about you. Melissa, we don't care about you.
Alicia,
Melissa, I see. Let me tell you something. When you don't care about these helpers, you don't have no respect for them. You don't even call them by their real name. Suzanne, we don't care about you. Okay. And social media was in an uproar because she also made a statement of something along the lines of she wished people would stop basically bringing up the relationship that he had with Whitney. And the thing about it is, number one, we're still mourning Whitney. We still hold Whitney in high regard. They were an iconic duo. I'm sorry, it's unfortunate that your marriage will always be in the shadow of their marriage. That's just what it is. You signed up for that when you signed up for Bobby Brown. Now listen, don't get me wrong. As his wife, I completely understand her for feeling that way, but she's also got to understand that we, as the fans, have and had a relationship with Bobby and Whitney, and we don't have no relationship with you, Sarah, because we don't even know who you are.
Alicia, I got some tea on Alicia that might make it a little more interesting. I moved to LA like 20 some years ago, and she's the ex-girlfriend of Boris Kodjoe, and they used to always be dressed alike everywhere all around LA. They were quite an item back in the day, and they were a beautiful couple, but I used to see them all they were always dressed alike, and they were a very cute couple. So does that help make her any more interesting?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have to disagree with Q on this one. This woman finally got her man, and I guess I'll be honest and talk about it. She's been with and for him for over 30 years. Remember, she met him in the 80s, right? Let's go down the timeline. She met him in the 80s. In the 90s, allegedly, she was the woman that was there that talked him out of his cold feet to get him married to Whitney. She got in the bathroom and told him, get it together. This is your biggest day of your life. He got it together, came out of the bathroom, and got married. In 2007, she was there when Whitney and Bobby divorced. She joined his management team in 2008. She had a baby with him in 2008. 2012, Whitney died. In 2012, Alicia and Bobby got married. So to me, this is like a story that just pulls all your heartstrings. It seems like she was one of those women that was always there for this man that she's always had an eye on. And now she can step out of the shadows of this superstar marriage and have her man. And that's what she got now with 3 beautiful kids.
That sounds good, but at the end of the day, no one. I do.
Don't nobody
agree with
care
that.
about Bridget.
Alicia.
Would you stop calling her
Alicia.
Teresa, whatever. Girl, don't nobody care about that woman.
She deserves something. She's been there a long time.
She deserves a lot. She deserves love, life, happiness, and everything that comes along with it. We still don't care about Mildred.
Alicia. Q, repeat after me.
It ain't Whitney. Okay, that's all that matters. It ain't Whitney. All right.
But Whitney's passed. I mean, can't he move on? Can he move on?
No.
He can move on. It's like when you have the big celebrity relationship and then you get with the 9 to 5, no shades 9 to 5ers, but it's just not as interesting and sexy for the fans. For us, for them, I think she's amazing. And listen, that is the definition of ride or die. That woman's had her back. We cannot take that away from her. And I think she's a damn good wife and a supportive woman. But there's no comparison to the charisma that we would witness, and the benefit that we had, as selfish viewers that, we're here for this show, their antics, their relationship, that Whitney and Bobby will forever be iconic. Remember that reality show they had?
Al, you talking about Crystal was in the bathroom with him.
Alicia.
And tell him to go out there and marry Whitney. As far as I'm concerned, she had her eyes on Whitney, man, the whole damn time. Oh, borderline home wrecker. I damn sure ain't calling her by her real name now, Brenda.
Alicia.
Cute. You do know that she knew him before Whitney, right? And I'm not taking away from Bobby and Whitney's greatness.
Yeah, she should have married him then. Okay, she should have married him then. Don't come up in here now talking all this newfangled big talk.
They've been married for over a decade, boy.
That's besides the point. She should just stay quiet. We don't know you. Stay quiet, fluff and fold, make breakfast, or whatever it is you do over there at Bobby Brown house, and we don't care, April.
So I do have
what? Go ahead.
This question, Claudia. So for just like I was asking you last week about you and KJ bringing in, having cameras come into your relationship. This would be her first time, right? With her married to Bobby, letting cameras come into their relationship. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, she executive produced that other movie that people weren't really here for that version of the story. So I'm sure listen, you being around that all these years, I think she wants that attention as well. Like, why wouldn't you? Well, I'm curious to see. So we're going to see, and hopefully Bobby Brown will be a guest on one of these shows on Fox. So we're going to have to get him and talk to him about Anastasia.
Long as he leaves Charlotte ass home.
All right, her name is Alicia.
Alicia, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more when we come back, but after this. Welcome back to TGIF Soulmates. If you're having a good time, we want to get some flames up in the chat. And I haven't mentioned us going over 3,000, but we've been pretty much going over 3,000, like almost pretty much every show. Y'all know that, right?
Hey.
I know, because we got a good show.
All right, y'all. Let's get into the topics. Let's get back into it. All right, y'all. Hashtag monkeypox is trending on Twitter after reports of a rare outbreak in England, Portugal, and Spain. Now, according to NPR, the outbreak is relatively small with only 36 suspected cases across 3 countries. So far, reports show 8 cases in England and 20 in Portugal. Now, there's one active case in the United States, a man in Massachusetts who recently traveled to Canada. All right, y'all. First was COVID-19, all those variants, and now monkeypox. What are your thoughts on this new virus? Al, what do you think about this? And have you heard of it?
Oh, absolutely. In 2003, the United States was the second country that monkeypox came to. We had 47 cases in 2003 that was brought over with this exotic animals that they brought over to do the different zoos in the United States. So I remember monkeypox within that. I think the reason why they're bringing it back up was because monkeypox actually at that time, no one could figure out how it was spreaded. And what we found out now, it's a zoonotic disease, and it's respiratory droplets, which is like a sneeze or saliva or a cough, whatever comes from a sneeze or a cough. And that makes it airborne, which is like COVID-19. So very familiar with it. Thank goodness it's not debilitating like COVID-19 and not fatal, or it can lead to death. So
it sounds like basically it spreads like pretty much every other virus, pretty much like in droplets. That's much
like a flu. Yeah,
most things spread. It just got that that name, that kind of
because it comes from exotic animals.
Q, what do you think about this monkeypox? Is it going to keep you in the house?
I'm stressed out because listen, between the war in Ukraine, gas prices, inflation, COVID, the chicken wing shortage, and the rental increase, and the Pentagon just released a page saying that they confirmed 500 UFO sightings. My spirit just can't take on nothing else. I know the Lord said he'll never put more on me than I can bear, but Lord, I am nearing that point where I cannot bear no more. My bike is not that strong. Okay. And y'all already know I don't had COVID 4 times. So obviously I am prone to catching stuff from the general public. I don't need monkeypox on top of all this other stress. Mama just trying to make rent, okay?
Q, monkeypox affects, or what we're reading is that it affects men who have relations with men. So you better slow down on your gentleman call.
You see what I'm saying?
Everybody on this call better slow down.
Okay,
you better slow down on your gentleman callers because
that's why I keep my same 3 on rotation. I just got to find out how many they got on rotation.
Q, did you ever find out the mystery of who was at your house the other day when you woke up?
You know what? I stopped trying to figure out because, I was feeling shame. I was feeling the internal shame or whatever. And the more I dug, the more I was coming up empty. And I was like, why would I keep inflicting this trauma on myself when I could just choose to leave this alone?
Exactly.
It's in the Lord's hands now. Just hope that they, you know what I mean? That's it.
That's it.
Okay, moving on. Members of the Albany High School girls track and field team in upstate New York were suspended after starting a petition to wear sports bras rather than shirts during practice. Now, last week, the school district's athletic director, Ashley Chappelle, reportedly asked the girls on the team who were wearing sports bras to leave practice. Now, the girls were confused as to why they weren't allowed to wear sports bras because their male counterparts can practice shirtless. According to some of the athletes, Chappelle told them that wearing sports bras would be a distraction and a cover up because male coaches are around. What are your thoughts on this double standard, Al?
I'm gonna let you share more with us, Claudia, because you were a track star in high school. And all about this, but this is what I think. I think every school that I've ever gone to has had a dress code. I feel like I'm going to stand with the African American female athletic director that imposed the suspension, Ashley Chappell, because she did say that the suspension was not because they were wearing sports bra, but because the ladies were being very inappropriate, disrespectful, and vulgar towards her in how they spoke to her at a school event. Now, I do think that Ms. Chappell made a mistake by saying when she approached the ladies in the beginning that you need to cover up because you have male track coaches here. But having dress codes are nothing new in the school district here. Every school has it. The ladies just needed to sit in and kind of try to change this dress code as far as I'm concerned.
Q, what do you think about this?
I definitely agree with the comment about y'all need to cover up because there are male coaches around. On the flip side of things, I've said this before, and it's unfair. Unfortunately, we do live in a patriarchal society, and girls simply can't do what guys do. Doesn't make it right. It's not fair. It's just the world that we live in. It's a set of rules you have to play by. As far as the sports bras are concerned, from just the physical construction of the sports bra, I honestly don't have a problem with it. We see girls in bikinis all the time. They even have the Nike. I see girls in the gym that work out that have the actual, Nike things with the band on them. I think people probably took exception with the fact that they were actually sports bras and probably regarded them as undergarments. But I really don't see a problem with it if the girls, got the official sportswear that had the little halter or whatever the case may be. Hell, it's hot outside. It's hot.
Personally, I think this is absolutely ridiculous that the women who have been wearing, saying sports bra sounds worse than it is. It's really like a crop tank top that has support in it for your breasts. And they are totally respectable. They're not skimpy, especially the competitive ones. They have a thick band. It's not about showing a bunch of cleavage. And the fact that the women have to change their dress code in a sport that it's been like that for well over 4 decades, people wearing that is ridiculous, because the male coaches, they feel like they may be tempted in some regard. If you're going to be tempted by your high school students or your college students, then perhaps this isn't the right profession for you. If it's going to make you feel some kind of way and sexualize your athletes when you should be coaching them, hey, you can notice things, but they have to change. And in track and field, the more aerodynamic you are, the better your times are, the faster you are. That's why everything is so tight and fitted. That's why people don't wear the baggy shorts anymore. Distance runners wear those. But when you're a sprinter, your success is determined by 100th of a second. 100th of a second, right? Controls like first, second, third. There's races where it's that close. And the fact that they're changing this has been around for a long time. Now, if the girls are disrespectful, that's one thing. But changing policy because this reminds me of some of these religions where the women have to cover up for fear of tempting the man. Once again, we're letting the men off the hook. They can't be checked, but it's the women that got to change their whole thing around. I think it's dumb and I think it's ridiculous. I would be pissed if I was a parent of those girls that train. It's essential.
I don't think they changed anything around. I think they were enforcing it. There's a dress code. It's a dress code. There's dress codes in all high schools.
Well, let me ask you this.
So there's a dress code and they broke the dress code. That's the question here.
Yeah,
so
my point is that shouldn't be a dress code.
Why do the guys get to break the dress code and the women don't?
That's the point. Once again, it's on the girls. The guys are going around shirtless. If it's one thing, if they're okay, guys got to wear tank tops, right? They got their nipples out, but a woman can't wear sport. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous for the reasons I stated.
It's definitely unfair. And there definitely is an argument to be made that if the guys can take their shirts off, then the girls can wear school approved, like you said, with the thick strap, bandage, support halter or tank.
Well, I think the best thing in this story is the athletic director did decide to hold a committee to see if they need to revisit the dress code for the ladies, and she invited all of the ladies to participate in that committee meeting. So hopefully, maybe we'll see. I personally feel like that there's so many stories where young women are taken advantage of in that setting as high school women from older men and just from the young guys staring at them. Look, you showed a picture again, production. Those are a beautiful set of women. I feel like I need a dress code there. And if there is not a dress code, then let them all vote on it. Let it be a collective vote for everybody.
And let's not act like males
both should follow the same rules.
And let's not act like young boys in schools aren't getting sexually harassed as well. Like, I just feel like the women are just being, the girls are being, once again, they're getting singled out. All right, y'all. Good conversation. I guess we will stay up on that one because I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting. I really do. Especially since it's been around. Oh, we have a comment. Janae says, I'm a high school teacher and I'm extremely protective of my female students. If we lived in a utopia, it would be okay if young girls dress anyway, but we don't. That's true. That's a valid point as well. True. All right. Okay, y'all. Kris Jenner's former bodyguard, Mark Bear, is speaking about his time working for the reality television family, and he doesn't have nice things to say. He's calling them out for being toxic and claims they are fame hungry, the Kardashians. Bear told sources Kris is addicted to horror. Kris has ruined so many athletes' lives. Look at Lamar Odom. She ruined his life and she nearly destroyed Scott Disick. He continued with, you've got to understand that with this family, that if your fame goes down, they don't have a story. Kris is addicted to fame and the horror stories keep them going. They go after people they use to make them bigger stars. What do you think about his comments, Q?
I mean, listen, he was all up in the mix. He had a front row seat to their antics. I definitely believe there's a level of truth to it. Now, I will say, brother does come off like a disgruntled employee, and you always have to kind of take disgruntled employees' words with a grain of salt. But what I did find very interesting is that he actually had positive things to say about Kourtney Kardashian. He went on to say, that she's regular. She ain't really like the rest of them sisters. She only comes around when it's time to take pictures. Then she goes on about her business. But the rest of them, that they're hell on wheels. I definitely believe there's some validity to what he was saying. Because like I said, he had a front row seat to all of it. And security guards tend to be like janitorial people in office buildings. They're invisible. You know what I'm saying? Many times people have conversations in front of them because they deem them not important and they're invisible. And ain't no telling what all this man on her witnessed and picked up on.
Okay. All right. Al, what do you think?
Cute, not janitorial. Look,
yeah, they use that reference in the workplace.
No, not janitorial. Not janitorial. Listen to me. In celebrity people's lives, there are 4 people that you do not ever want to cross. All right. One is your driver. Your driver hears everything that's going on in your life. They're with you 20 out of 24 hours of your day. 2 is security. They see and hear everything about your life, intimate details, stuff that nobody else ever gets to see. 3 is your hair and makeup team. You never want to piss them off because they are constantly with you, especially a family like this. They are literally a part of your family. And the 4th is your housekeeper. You never, ever, ever, as a celebrity, and especially at this level, want these 4 people to give the media any type of droplets or any type of information or news about your family. The good thing about this case is that he didn't tell us anything that we didn't know, right? I mean, we already know that about the Kardashians. And that Mama Kris Jenner, she got the media and these magazines on lock because that whole story was distorted and weird and sound very funky and fell flat. So I'm pretty sure, I hope he got paid because he'll never work in Hollywood again.
All right. The leaks keep coming out of the Kardashian camp. I see it's been a lot of that lately. So I expect many, many more. All right, y'all. Quick commercial break. We'll be back with more TGIF when we return. Hey guys, welcome back to TGIF. All right, let's get into this makeup. I love it. They sent me a box and I am all about it. Now, traditionally, makeup palettes are typically filled with shades we love. And there's always some shades in there that you don't like, but you buy it anyways. Well, let's face it. We've all been guilty of buying an entire palette and swearing that we'll use every color, only to use the same shades we always use. No shame. We know what makes us feel beautiful. However, those half-used makeup palettes and products can get pretty expensive and add to the growing amount of waste produced by the beauty industry. Billion Dollar Beauty believes you should have the option to purchase just the shades and products you actually use without sacrificing quality or convenience. That's why CEO and founder Natalie Plain designed the completely customizable compact $1 billion box as a sustainable solution to expensive, excessively packaged makeup. The $1 billion box is a palette. The $1 billion box is a portable makeup kit that uses its spill-proof magnetic lining to secure a full line of professional quality, cruelty-free cosmetics. Plus, all the products from your box come in minimal recycled packaging and are paraben-free, vegan, and Leap and Bunny certified cruelty-free. There are over 40 pans and products to add to your $1 billion box, like the #1 bestseller, Universal Brow Pencil, Magnetic Brush Trio, and so much more. They sent me my box and you can place the colors that you like. Just order the ones that you like on this magnetic strip. They don't spill and you can arrange them any way you want. And it's super, super cute. I really love this product. Now, for nearly 20 years, $1 Billion Beauty has been trusted by salons and beauty professionals around the world, from Japan to Australia. Now, you may have seen them in the clean beauty section of Target, in publications like Vogue, Allure, and Glamour, or on the runways of LA and New York Fashion Weeks. Well, now you can have them in the comfort of your home by joining the refill revolution and building your own $1 billion box at billiondollarbeauty.com. And you'll also receive 20% off your entire purchase when you enter the code T at checkout. That's billiondollarbeauty.com, code T. We'll be right back with more tea when we return. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to TGIF. Let's get right back into the tea. Now, according to the New York Post, former bank executive Joe Bruno claims that Wells Fargo allegedly held fake job interviews for minority candidates they had no intentions of hiring because the jobs were promised to others. Bruno also states that when he complained about the blatant discrimination, he was fired. He claims that his termination came shortly after he told his supervisors that the fake interviews were inappropriate, morally wrong, and ethically wrong. Al, what are your thoughts on these allegations? What do you think about this?
First of all, Wells Fargo and all this drama. You were caught up in one of these, right, Claudia? The mortgage one?
I had the predatory mortgage, the
lending one.
lending.
All right,
They got
so
me. They gave me $300 after they gangstered my $600,000 house. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we know that Wells Fargo has been a part of very, very shady practices for a very long time. We also know in 2017 they had to settle a class action lawsuit against the African American bankers for $36 million, which is very similar to I was a part of the largest racial discrimination case against Merrill Lynch, a financial institution, the largest in civil rights, the history of civil rights. And we found that they actually exercise these practices all the time in our depositions and also in our discovery. So what they actually do is they interview people that are not qualified and say that they interviewed an African American. And then they also interview people that are overqualified for lesser jobs like teller, so they know for sure that the person will pass on it so that they can note that they interviewed an African American. This is unacceptable. Wells Fargo needs to sell themselves to a different bank. We know that there's a new African American bank that's a large bank. I'm wondering if they are not international, if they can service all 50 states yet. But that's what I think they should do, because this type of press, this type of history of them taking advantage of the African American community, African American employees, has to come to an end.
So frustrated, because I've been a Wells Fargo customer. Like that's my primary bank for well over 20 years. I have a good amount of money there and I like them, but these negative stories make it really hard to want to be like, I really want to just go and just withdraw every single penny out of this bank. Q, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts?
Not to mention they got Wendy Williams money all sold up and we still mad. You know what? This is the illusion of inclusion. And this is what happens when we have a lack of diversity at the top levels. When it comes to this whole diversity initiative, what I found across these corporate companies is, they'll hire, middle management and entry level. They'll mix it up down there, but they never mix it up at the executive level. They never mix it up real high. And if they were to mix it up real high and put people of color in those spaces up high, they always say a fish rots from the head down. If they put people of color in some of these top level positions and not just pacify us by putting us in teller positions and assistant bank manager positions, then maybe some of this would truly go away, and that would truly be diversity. But don't be, handing us these little bit of teller positions and then saying, look, we diversified. No, you didn't diversify the power. You just diversified the little worker bees down at the bottom. I'm not surprised. Wells Fargo is not the only company that did this. And if y'all honestly think that these people are just going to relinquish power just so willingly, you about as silly as they are.
I liked some suggestions in the chat. What are your preferred banks? Like, who should I bank with? Because I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. I'm sick of it. This is too many times we're talking about this same bank, and I know a lot of them are the same. It may be just a slight improvement somewhere else, but I'm ready to move on. So if y'all can recommend some banks in the chat, I will definitely take that into consideration because I'm sick of it.
So Claudia, let me give you something else to be sick of. So, the spokeswoman for Wells Fargo spoke out against this, right? And she said, her name is Rachel. Rachel said 77% of the bankers' 26,000 hires in 2020 were not white men. So why is everybody getting upset? And I'm thinking, okay, so if they weren't white men, then who were they? And so when they revealed the data of who was hired, she was right. 77% were not white men. Guess what color they were and what they were?
White women.
White women. Isn't that crazy?
But yeah, we refuse as a people. We refuse to support Black banks. And, we're part of the problem as well, because we keep making these companies billion and trillion dollar companies, and we're getting nothing in return. So I think we need to go ahead and
you know what I'm going to say, because I get that Black bank thing all the time. And for me, my issue has never been because of the color of the skin of the bank. For me, it's always been an accessibility issue. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, I travel a lot. I want to be able to know that if I have an issue, I can go. When you start talking about SunTrust, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and other banks like that. You know, any damn where you go in the country, there's going to be a branch. You know that there's always going to be online customer service. You know that you'll be able to go into the bank and get a temporary card if you drop your card. And for me personally, that has always been the reason why I've kept the lion's share of my money with one of these larger national banks. For me, it's had nothing to do with it being Black. Now, when David Banner and them had that big push years ago about going and opening an account at Black-owned banks, I did do that in Atlanta. I did put a couple $1,000s there, and I think it's still sitting there. But I think a lot of times with the smaller banks, it has less to do with Black for some people and more to do with accessibility.
Oh, I definitely get that. And until those banks get enough support from us, they're not going to be able to branch out and be, more of them. So,
well,
I
hopefully,
guess
as technology has changed and we can digitalize, whatever that word is.
Digitize.
That's one thing we're liking about technology, right? Is that it's really leveling the playing field in so many different ways. The same way social media is doing it against hate crime against African Americans, this can also help, level the playing field with banks as soon as we can start to digitize, whatever Q said, digitize our banking needs. So, hey, maybe things are changing.
Well, things are changing with crypto. I will say that. I'm a big believer in crypto, and I'm enjoying. I've been using it lately, and you're kind of taking out the middleman, and I think that's what banks are fearing, and that's being a problem. That's a problem for them. No fees like the banks. All right, y'all. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back with more TGIF after this. Hey guys, the soulmates were going in on the bank stuff. They're giving lots of good recommendations here. So I suggest we all take a look at the comments later on because they're kind of shouting out all their favorite places. All right, y'all, the results are in, and according to TMZ, a paternity test proves that Flavor Flav is the father of a 3-year-old boy named Jordan. Now, Flav reportedly asked for a DNA test because he did not believe the child was his. But now Flav has worked out child support and a custody agreement, spent more time with his child, and is teaching him to play the drums. This will be Flav's 8th child. Al, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I have nothing negative to say about Flavor Flav. Anybody that knows him, and especially everyone that I know, and anybody that knows him knows that Flavor Flav is a really cool dude. he's a buddy. I can consider him a buddy. We've hung out in Vegas a couple of times. You can check him out on my Instagram. He's always been very nice. One of the coolest dudes I've ever met in the entertainment business industry that's been in the game for this long. I just hope that when I'm 63, I'm still, getting it in like Flavor Flav. I guess that's the positive in that. And also, he's been doing this for so long. I mean, at least he doesn't have 8 different baby mamas. How about that?
How many does he have?
I think he has like 3. I know 3 of his kids are from one woman, 3 of his kids are from another woman. He has another woman with another child, if I'm not mistaken, and then this new child that's on the way.
So like 4.
Yeah. Maybe 4.
Q, what do you think about this? This is the part of the story that got me. Imagine you got pregnant by Flav, right? 63-year-old Flav, current day Flav. And he's like, that ain't mine. And you got to sit there and prove to him that he is your baby. I would be so pissed. Q, what you think about this story?
Child, they say if you lie down with dogs, you'll wake up with fleas, honey. Listen,
Go ahead. Give it to us. Bring it on home, Q. I know you got one in you.
Some people would just hunch anything, okay? And I'm just curious to know, do Flavor Flav even have any money left? You know what I'm saying? After you divide it across all those children. I will say, though, the article says that he, went to court, he put child support in place, yada, 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 yada. So he must have something in, a little piece of something left. But you don't get no cool points for hunching no 63-year-old Flavor Flav and having no baby from him, Becky. I'm sorry. The baby's cute, though. I think the kid is very cute. And hopefully he'll be good at the drums and following his father's footsteps.
I listen, say what you want about the looks and all that. You know, people always come for him, what he looks like and all that kind of stuff. But he is one, let me tell you, his show was one of the most iconic reality shows of all time. Flavor of Love.
Mhm.
I mean, he should monetize this. He should monetize this. I think I would watch a show with Flav and all his kids and see what kind of dad he is. And all these women that keep coming up pregnant. He was feature before feature. Like he did it first. Kind of.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy though. He's super cool.
Yeah, but you ain't one of his baby mamas. You don't got to deal with him on that level.
That's true.
And you ain't got to let them get on top of you, breathe, and kiss you all in your mouth.
Right. And you don't have to call him and say, I'm pregnant. It's yours. What we going to do?
You know, a funny story. Me and T.S. Madison did a show in DC a few years ago. Tiffany New York Pollard was the guest. And me and her got into it on stage. And I told her, I said, baby, I can't listen to nothing that nobody said who kissed Flavor Flav in the mouth. And she got pissed and walked off the stage.
Oh my God. I think she really loved him.
Now, Claudia, you worked with her.
Yeah, I did.
On the Next 15. Mm-hmm. I find that woman to be very talented.
I like her. She's funny.
She's very talented.
People thought that we didn't get along on that show, but we actually did. Like, she would wink at me before she would go off, and we would just like, it was like a mutual kind of like, we would have fun with it. So she knows exactly what she's doing. She knows the game, and she should always be on television. I think she's hilarious. True. All right, y'all. Allegedly, a T-Mobile employee allegedly stole nude photos from a woman's phone after she traded it in. 24-year-old Karen Munn claims she waited as the employee took her phone to a closed back room to find out if she was eligible for the trade-in. But when he came back, she claims she caught a glimpse of his phone. Munn said, I saw his photo app open with like a bunch of my photos on there, and I felt like a part of me was stolen. I wanted to scream, she continued. He gave me a piece of paper with a pen, which he prepared from the back, and said, listen, I need you to write down your passcode on the paper for me so I can unlock it and plug it into the computer and see if your phone is approved by the company. In her lawsuit against T-Mobile, Munn alleges that T-Mobile was negligent in its hiring, training, and supervising of staff and created an environment that allowed her privacy to be violated. Al, thoughts on this one?
So, there are hundreds of cases like this, not just T-Mobile, but there's hundreds of cases like this against carriers. And I personally have always worried about this as well, but I have this rule that I'm not going to ever turn my phone over to anybody without thinking that they possibly could see something, right? Even when I'm on my phone, that's why I have the screen protector, right? And that's why you have to use good filters, in my opinion. Like, I just feel like if you let someone take your phone, then you need to be responsible for whatever's on that phone because you gave it to them. I got some nice nudes on my phone. They're quite impressive, if I must say so myself. So if I give somebody my phone, I'm just thinking that they're going to look at them. Because don't we look at each other's pictures in our phones?
Yeah, right? But I think it's different. It's almost like going to the doctors and you telling them your business and they go run their mouth to their friends, or they take a picture, a screenshot, a picture of your records. You know what I mean? It's like, it's right. A professional. Like I get like friends amongst friends, you leave your phone out. We might, okay. Oh, I see you. But like, we can't even trust the people that we got to turn our phones into, that they're going to take one and have it for their personal use. Q, what do you think about this?
I think it's creepy as hell. And listen to the verbiage in her lawsuit. It sounds like she got a case. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that the company is going to take a hit as a result of some lower level employee, doing some crazy foolishness that didn't need to be done. But the way that thing was worded to me, baby, it sounded like she got a case.
I agree. And that you could be highly stressed. I mean, who knows what he's doing with these photos and how many other people he may have done this to. He put that, and
it's a complete invasion of privacy. I mean, that will.
Yeah, but she willingly gave the passcode, and this has nothing to do with training and development of an employee. This case is weak. And
I think that there is a reasonable expectation that when I turn my phone into T-Mobile for you to transfer my data, that you will not transfer my pictures onto your phone, Al. That's beyond a reasonable expectation. You should not have
obviously that expectation don't work.
And that's why their ass is getting sued, because it should.
Al, you really think this is baseless and she has no case?
I think I mean, she won't be the first. She's got to get in line. There are like 2,500 cases like this year alone. So, I mean, listen, you can't blame T-Mobile for what an employee did in the violation of their hours on the job, unless unless that customer, or I mean, unless that employee did something that was defamatory. He hasn't leaked the pictures. He hasn't, posted it on a door somewhere where people are seeing her body of any sorts. I mean, this is where the legal lines get very blurry. There's a difference between what's morally right and what's legally acceptable.
But
I can't believe you're saying this.
There has to be some sort of precedent for you stealing my digital property.
Right.
There has to be, because you stole my digital property.
Well, stolen means that he had to take it against her will, but he said, write down your passcode. So technically they can argue that she gave him permission by giving the passcode to have access to her phone.
Theft by conversion. That's theft by conversion.
Well, if you read the story, she said she saw the pictures of her pictures in his phone before he came back and asked for the password. So he'd already violated before she gave her password.
I don't think I remember it like that. I think she gave
that's what I just
the passcode. I think we probably have to read that story again. I think she gave the passcode, and when he came back, that's when she saw that the pictures were.
No, he went in the back and came back and said, I need your password to see if you're eligible. I'm just saying this. I had a case against someone for revenge porn. Okay. They took pictures of me when I was incapacitated. This guy, who knows what he's going to do with these pictures? You know what I mean? And yeah, you can make an argument that he hasn't done anything yet, but by stealing, he's an employee, and it is reasonable to expect to have some level of privacy when you bring your phone in. I think that's not a stretch. Al, you must be proud of your news, because the rest of us is like, this is
no.
I don't want nothing from my phone in your phone. Nothing.
I'm not saying, guys, that you don't have a right to feel that way and that I don't feel the same. I'm just saying, from a legal standpoint and from the stance of a large company like that, the responsibility can't be shifted completely to the company. Some of the responsibility has to go to the individual that committed the act, period.
But we all know this is like when you work for a company, you are representing that company. That's when almost all cases when you sue a company, isn't the administration that's doing it. It's an employee that's representing the company. So I think it is reasonable to, it's not like, it's the individual that did it. He's part of the company. She's suing them for negligence and their training.
I think you're missing one of the key elements here, Claudia, is that she willingly gave a passcode which allowed access into her device.
Because
all right,
she didn't know no better.
She willingly gave a passcode. I'm not saying, I don't know why y'all are screaming at me.
We're not screaming, but I think this is.
I'm only sharing with you how other cases with similar situations have been won and what the argument has been. That's all I'm doing. So if y'all don't like it, take it up with the law system, the legal system. Do not take it out on me.
Well, as someone who
you ain't having enough. Well, I'm gonna tell your ass what it is. You ain't having enough sympathy for the girl for my liking. Am I
okay?
Personally, okay.
I just think it's crazy to not
over here victim blaming, making
well,
it seem like it's her fault, and I don't like it.
No, don't do that. I never victim blame. I'm telling you legally what
she willingly gave the password.
Could be the argument.
What was she wearing?
Like, listen, cut it out. Y'all not gonna use me as a punching bag tonight. It's not happening.
We're not using it as a punching bag, but I think what we're saying.
It's not happening.
Let me finish. What we're saying and what most people in the chat is agreeing with, that it sounds crazy what you're saying, because you have a reasonable expectation. You have to give your password.
Okay, well, since I sound crazy, check out the cases that have been involved in these type of situations. They have not landed well for the individual that brought the case. Just do that.
We will keep y'all posted on the case of this employee stealing
that lady pictures.
I don't know how much time we have left, but let's try to squeeze this in. Oh, you know what? We only have 90 seconds left. So we will just get back to that. All right. Well, we will update y'all on that one. And
Al willingly give me a Claudia.
Here we go. Y'all I'm not participating in this any longer. I'm not participating any longer.
Okay, well, let me read some comments. Al, we have a lot for you. Ed Deshawn says Al only has sympathy for rich black men. Oh, damn.
Claudia, you and your biased reading of the chat.
That's the first one that came up. Trust me, I'm skipping.
Now, really?
I'm skipping a lot. Okay, Ashley says Al is right. The law ain't fair. I can't just read things that are complimentary to you. I got to read what the people say.
I get it. I understand.
And then Jazz Band says she was sexy, and Jack Queen says Al is definitely victim blaming. You know what? We will find out. We'll update you on what happens. I'm actually really curious about this, and we'll look into this. All right, y'all. We are going to end on a high note, and y'all have a fantastic weekend. I want to thank my co-hosts Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva for joining me tonight. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Stick around. You don't want to miss The House. That is coming up next. Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all gonna behave this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna get ready to go down, get me some crab claws at Joe's Stone Crab, get me a couple margaritas, and if I'm lucky, find me a man.
Oh my God.
I hope you don't get monkeypox.
Y'all have a good one. Y'all be safe, man. Y'all be good. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, soulmates.